malicious nation-states can attack the very individuals law enforcement seeks to find. The 26-page Keys Under Doormats report, the group states, these proposals are unworkable in practice, raise enormous legal and ethical questions, and would undo progress on security at a time when internet vulnerabilities are causing extreme economic harm. The expert opinion comes on the eve of an appearance before the U.S. Senate Intelligence Committee of the FBI Director, James Comey, who last year attacked tech companies for embracing end-to-end encryption, claiming it would deprive the security services of potentially life-saving information. Anxiety interferes with the ability to take other people's perspective, new research has revealed. According to Cyblog, anxiety makes people focus more on themselves and reduce their empathy for others. The study results may help explain why anxiety can be such an isolating emotion. For the research, people were made anxious by recounting a nervous moment from their past. Then they were given a series of tests. In one, they were shown a picture of a person with a book next to them. They were asked to say which side it was on. Although the book was on the man in the picture's left-hand side, it was on the viewer's right-hand side. In other words, whether you see the book on the right or left depends on whose perspective you are taking. Over half of non-anxious people said the book was on the left side, indicating they had taken the other person's perspective. The conclusions come from a series of experiments published in the Journal of Experimental Psychology. And now for your weather, currently sunny and should stay that way for most of the day, or for the rest of the day into the evening, of course. We currently sit at 60 degrees. For a high, we should get to 72, and on the low end this evening, 54. This has been your news and weather. I'm Jamande Tway, and now Spin with Sin.
All right, thank you, Jamande. Appreciate it.
No
and
problem.
we will see you again at 11 o'clock.
I will be back.
All right, you're listening to Fresh Air Community Radio, KFAI, 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul, Radio Without Boundaries. Here's the theme song, Complicated Fun by the Suicide Commandos.
Back in treatment, I got the sympathy
All right, that's Complicated Fun by the Suicide Commandos, and I am delighted that Cows and Hammerhead are coming in to join me today to interview and spin a bunch of their favorite songs in anticipation of Grumpy's Bash 15 happening July 11th at Grumpy's downtown on Washington Avenue. Right now, I'm going to go to some Blind Shake. The Blind Shake members have a new side project called Shadow in the Cracks, and you can see them Friday night as a Grumpy's Bash 15 pre-party performing along with Mrs. and Seahorse, who you will also hear in this set. Here we go with Old Lake by the Blind Shake.
KFAI is proud to sponsor the 5th annual Twin Cities Roots, Rock, and Deep Blues Festival, Saturday, July 18th at Patrick's Cabaret on Minnehaha Avenue at Lake Street in Minneapolis. The festival features 5 stages showcasing more than 30 national and regional acts, including Kent Burnside, Spider John Kerner, Jimmy Duck Holmes, Willie Murphy and the Angel-Headed Hipsters, Charlie Parr, and many more. Information is available at rootsrockdeepblues.com.
All right, you just heard Swami John Reese with the Blind Shake. And before that was Seahorse, who are performing the Grumpy's Bash 15.
See what?
See. Copy that. That's Kevin Romanis of the Cows. We've got Cows and Hammerhead in today. And we're going to get you guys all settled in here and figure out what you're going to play shortly. In the meantime, I'm going to play a band that's performing Grumpy's Bash 15 as well. Gay Witch Abortion. Here we go.
What? Witch abortion?
All right, we're back. You're listening to Fresh Air Community Radio, KFAI 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul, Radio Without Boundaries. We've got... That's Kevin
No
Romanes.
boundaries, my friends.
And we got Shannon Selberg and Paul Erickson and Paul Sanders in today, members of Cows and Hammerhead. Hello, guys. How are you doing today?
Good.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. Glad you guys could all come in today.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and we've got Freddie also coming in, who's performing drums.
Sure we do. It depends on what time they let you out of jail. And he had to run to the methadone clinic, too.
All right, so you came in all the way from California, Kevin, to do this show. And how did you guys, Shannon, you want to talk about the Cows reunion, how you guys decided to do this? After so many years, what's the last time you had a...
Tom Hazelmeyer asked me if we wanted to do the Bash 15, and I said, okay, we'll do it. But we had never done a reunion, so talked to everybody, and it turned out Thor didn't want to do it. And so I kind of gave up on the idea, but I had a plan B in the back of my head. Well, I hear that Hammerhead practices in a room with Freddie Votel. I could ask Paul Sanders to play guitar, and Paul Erickson
To play bass.
could stand in at 20 practices and then not play the show at all.
That's right.
That would never work, and I shouldn't even ask, but I got drunk one day, and I popped them the question, and they immediately said, sounds great, let's do it.
You get
Fantastic.
drunk one
Very
day,
good.
and all this chaos happens.
So...
That's why I don't do it as a rule.
So that's July 11th at Grumpy's downtown. And what can people expect from your shows? Were always like really wild, fun, and funny, and off the hook. What can people expect? What do you have planned for?
We don't do that anymore.
For better or worse, you will witness an actual real cows show that, with all that entails, good and bad.
Fantastic horns and
I mean, we're not doing another show, so we can do whatever we want.
it'll be great.
No boundaries.
Not like before.
We make our own rules.
Very good. All right, and Hammerhead is playing as well. So we look forward to seeing you guys, Paul. And you want to?
Did you say what?
How did Hammerhead decide to do this show?
Yeah, how?
Well, we got drunk one day and
Talking to Shannon.
we said yes.
All right.
I sat in on the bass for practice.
All right, so
Snorted. You
I
were so
did
excited.
exactly. All right, let's go to music. We got some Mel Brooks queued up here, right, Kevin?
Yeah, it's from the Mel Brooks. Is it like a greatest hits or something? It's from his various sound. He has the best soundtracks ever. I think you'll like this.
Absolutely. All right, and then what else do we have queued up here?
I don't remember. Gary Glitter's Rock and Roll Part 1, The Little Herd Part 1. Part 2 was a big hit. Now he's just a pedophile in prison.
It's making a comeback.
He's making a comeback. Hey,
Part 3.
no FCC disapproved words.
All right.
A come what?
Germany was having trouble, what a sad, sad story. Needed a new leader to restore its former glory. Where, oh, where was he? Where could that man be? We looked around, and then we found the man for you and me. And now it's springtime for Hitler and Germany. Deutschland is happy and gay. We're marching to a faster pace. Look out, here comes the master race. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Winter for Poland and France. Springtime for Hitler and Germany. Come on, Germans, go into your dance. I was born in Dusseldorf, and that is why they call me Rolf.
be stupid, be a smarty. Come and join the Nazi party.
He sits behind his microphone, guests are boring, he fills up the slack.
Johnny Carson.
The network makes him break his back.
Johnny Carson.
Ed McMahon comes on and says he's Johnny. Every night at 11:30 he's so funny. Don't you think he's such a natural guy? The way he kept it up could make you cry. Who's a man that we admire? Johnny Carson is a real live wire. Who's the man that we admire? Johnny Carson is a real live wire. Who's a man that we admire? Johnny Carson is a real live wire. Who's the man that we admire? Johnny Carson is a real live.
KFAI is storyteller Allegra Lingo on Fresh Fruit with Dixie and John.
So things got fun this year. My wife is pregnant.
Wow.
And I know, right?
Wow.
I know. I've known you guys.
Congratulations.
I've known you guys for like 15 years, and it's like we're all growing up. It's so cool.
KFAI is community.
We're glad you're here. Stay connected on the air and at kfai.org.
Programming on KFAI is sponsored by the Dakota, presenting Mingo Fish Trap in concert on Friday, July 10th.
Austin, Texas-based Mingo Fish Trap blends punchy horns and gritty Memphis grooves with New Orleans funk, creating sounds steeped in both modern pop and 60s soul sensibilities.
I'm gonna be just fine. Don't worry about it.
More information is available at dakotacooks.com.
Duplex.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. This is Spin with Sin every
Simplex.
Tuesday 10 to noon here on Fresh Air Community Radio, KFAI 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul. We've got members of Hammerhead and the Cows. Also, Kevin Romanis brought in Hepatitis, another of your bands.
Thanks for that, Kevin.
Yeah, we didn't really
Third
need
time in my life.
hepatitis. No.
Now we all have hepatitis.
All right, so I wanted to ask, Hammerhead and and Cows have toured a lot together, right? So over the years,
Yes.
and you have any good road stories?
No.
A favorite story performing together?
Well, he knows all the stories.
They're all so good.
Can't think of one.
It would be unfair to the other stories to pick one.
Paul Sanders beat a bunch of Germans with a Christmas tree.
That's the one I was going to bring up.
Oh, yeah. How does that go?
Why did you do that again?
It was Christmas.
Oh, the
He
one
came out
guy.
with a Santa hat on at the beginning of the show, much to everyone's surprise. Yeah, he came out with a Santa hat, and he had a Christmas tree, and he threw it like a spear at the Germans.
Oh,
I think they had drank one of his beers or something.
Wow. All right.
Germans are wont to do.
Yeah.
You had to be there.
One of them said...
I wasn't there.
One of them
That was
said...
You weren't
"Move
there,
it,
Freddie?
fat
No?
ass."
Any other
And then all
questions
hell
for the
broke
one
Maybe
guy
that's a
who's
good
not on
thing. I
mic?
don't know.
Yeah, it might be.
We're going to take questions from the audience.
All right.
Let's open up.
Oh,
Open up
all
the
right,
phone.
Freddie. Freddie just joined us a couple minutes ago. You drummed with Cows from in the later years, 95 to 98. Is that?
Yep.
All right.
1895.
Yeah.
All right.
20
So-
years you've been in the band.
Yep, I know.
And you drum with a lot of other bands, a number of other bands, such as in the
Pearl
past.
Jam occasionally.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. That'd be nice, actually. That would pay some checks.
Skull Kodiak. And you got a newer one?
Novacron with Mr. Erickson here.
All right. Good.
And Adam Marks.
Mm-hmm.
And Skull Kodiak's still going on, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Cows, it still happen?
Yeah.
TVBC is still kind of a band.
Yeah. So
Everything's in limbo.
I was wondering, Shannon, why is this only? Is this really the only show you're going to do in the foreseeable future as Cows? Do you think, or
The only one we know about.
okay?
I don't know if you've noticed there's a little bit of chaos in the air all the time. So
Right.
No.
who knows?
So we are going to go to a couple selections. Kevin, you're also in hepatitis, as we already talked about. We're going to spin something from that. Do you want to talk about this?
This is a split single we did with our friends Quee, who also live in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I got.
It's really something.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do a selection from Shannon. What is from the Virgin Suicides movie?
How do you mend a broken heart?
All right. And people can hear you spin occasionally at Grumpy's, right? Grumpy's.
I'm not an
Northeast
official spinner. I'm just sort of filling in
Sometimes
the silence.
yeah. All right. Well, here we go with those, and we'll get back to talking with Hammerhead and Cows shortly.
Thank you. I don't hear a thing.
You're gonna hog that.
can think of younger days when living for my life was everything a man could want to do. I could never see tomorrow. I was never told about the sorrow. And how can you mend a broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? Tell me, how can you stop that old sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And how can you mend this broken man? Yeah. How can a loser ever win? Somebody please help me mend my broken heart and let me live again. La 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 la. I can still feel the breeze that rustles through the trees and misty memories of days gone by. But we could never see tomorrow. Would you believe that no one ever told us about the sorrow? So how can we make a broken heart? And mine is, how can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop that old sun from shining? What makes the world go round? And sometime I have to say, la 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 la, yeah. La 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 la. Tell me, help me mend my broken heart. I just wanna live again, baby. How can you mend this broken man? Yeah. Somebody tell me, how can a loser ever win? Baby, I'm gonna say, baby, help me mend this old broken heart. I believe I feel like I wanna live again. How can you mend this broken heart? Somebody please tell me, How can you stop the rain from falling down? Although my clothes are all wet, tell me, how can you mend my, please help me mend my broken heart. I believe I got a feeling that I want to live and live. La 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 la.
Forgotten sounds cross paths with the tunes the world never had a chance to love. Each week we explore the darkest reaches of the ephemeral and put it face to face with the earworms of today. Below the waist. Crate digging. Tape trawling. Bit mining. You dig the underground. You swim the mainstream. Now it's time to take a trip below the waist. Every day. Whenever you want it. Below the waist on KFAI.org.
Programming on KFAI is supported in part by Pizza Luce in 6 Twin Cities locations. Pizza Luce makes award-winning homemade pizzas with vegetarian, vegan, and gluten-free options available. Pizza Luce also offers delivery and online ordering. More information is available at pizzaluce.com.
Said nobody.
All right. We're back. You just heard Al Green's How Do You Mend a Broken Heart from the Virgin Suicides movie that was brought in by Shannon Selberg of Cows. Thank you,
You're welcome.
Shannon. And before that, we heard Hepatitis.
Bunch of crap.
No, featuring Kevin Romanis. And great artwork on that record.
Thank you. Yes,
Yeah.
my wife did that.
Fantastic. So, speaking of artwork, there's a bunch of new records coming out of various of you bands at the Grumpy's Bash 15. I understand with artwork by Hazelmeyer.
Oh yeah. There's all kinds of great stuff going to be there.
Yeah.
He's been on fire.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about his artwork and working with him over the years with AMREP? And
He just started doing that stuff a few years ago, and he's already so amazing.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really good.
yeah,
And he's built a real following. It's great. It's really good.
yeah, really great woodcuts and just amazing artwork. So
Well, he had a serious illness, and then afterwards he had lost coordination, so he kind of took it up as a hobby to get his coordination back.
Yeah.
And turned out.
that's
He's good at
cool.
Yeah. And he immediately became obsessive.
Right.
Yeah. So people can look for his artwork at the Grumpy's Bash 15 on July 11th, featuring you guys, Cows, Hammerhead, also Gay Witch Abortion, LA Butcherettes, Melvin's,
Run Westy Run.
Run Westy Run,
And the New Monkeys.
And hepatitis.
and Hepatitis.
With a Z.
So,
etc.
and others.
Yeah.
And the rest.
Yeah, exactly.
The Beatles with a Z.
I'm gonna field a question for from somebody who might be listening, who was in the band Snag. Shannon, do you remember the band Snag?
They're up there.
Patty Walsh, Mike
Patty.
Huber, and Jeff Herman.
Yes.
That's Snag?
right,
No,
Paul?
not that
That's
Snag.
Snag.
Snag Junior.
Paul Snag.
Talk about Teenage Larva, if you would. Is there anything gonna happen with them in the future, or?
Much like many things I'm involved in, there's a finished record that's been sitting around for about 10 years.
Oh.
Maybe, no, longer. It has to be longer. 20 years, let's say.
There's a coffee cup sitting on it right now.
Yeah. And there's actually we did a cover of, I can't remember that. We did a cover of that Juicy song. It's on YouTube not that long ago.
Oh.
Matume, that's who did it.
All right.
Oh,
Maybe we
right.
can get to that in a little bit.
It's
Can you
on
say
YouTube
Matume on the
only.
radio?
Yeah, right.
Only Matu.
Yeah, what'd you call me? Why,
And all of you have various new projects in the works that do you want to talk about? I mean, not new, maybe, but being completed near future. Paul?
Gas War is
Gas War?
is
Oh, that's good.
Kevin
It's gonna come out
and
any
Jeff,
day,
Jeff from Hammerhead, and I.
Okay. Paul Erickson.
We recorded a record Oh, sometime around 98. We just finished up the vocals a couple nights ago.
Wow,
Speaking of Hammerhead, don't you guys have something new?
No, nothing really to note.
I can't think of anything.
Back to this Gaspar
We're
album.
going to, yeah. Cool. I look forward to hearing that. Possibly we could spin something from that during this show in the next hour.
Sure.
Okay.
And some gas.
Oh yeah, I might have some on here.
And Freddie, I think you have some Novacron, possibly.
It's rough.
You
If
got
this
it all
guy will
over
let me
himself.
play it.
Okay, it's up to you. We'll
His
figure.
mom will have to play it over the phone, though. We didn't.
We'll
bring
see
it.
if you feel up for it later. And
Okay.
Meanwhile, we'll get to some cows and brand new Hammerhead. So, Shannon, do you want to say anything about this?
About
oven?
what?
The Al Green
What
song.
song is that? So just
song
say
is it?
whatever it is.
It's
you're
a
gonna say.
oven.
Oh, first of all, grammatically, it's wrong.
Right.
A oven.
I would.
Oh, it's about a little. Oh boy, it's kind of complicated.
That's all right. We got time.
It's about a little boy who notices that steam comes out of people when it's cold out, and so he wants to rip someone open to see if there's an oven in there.
Oh, okay.
I got a one quick side note. The bass riff is note for note ripoff
Yep.
of European Sun by Velvet Underground.
Yep.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And
For some reason, no
Mingus
one ever
too, right?
notices that.
Yeah.
Isn't the bridge a Mingus bass line?
No, is it Mingus? I thought it was Roland Kirk. Oh no, you're right. It's Mingus. So
course
there's
I'm
not
right.
one
Mixed up
original
all the
note in
time.
that. It says it's John Cale and Mingus on bass.
And then John Cage.
I'm always right.
Kind of a
John
king.
You are
Cage
always
makes
right.
it.
He is actually
Wow,
always
I can't-
right about cow songs.
So
I
yeah,
can't wait to hear that. Okay.
I just wanted to make sure.
Just trying to get sued. We got to meet him somehow.
All right,
It's
yes.
They're both
courtroom.
dead, aren't they?
Who, Lou Reed?
Okay. And then Hammerhead, brand new Hammerhead, Paul? Erickson?
Hammerhead.
Damn near killed him.
Hammer what?
I think everybody's wanting to know about the new Gaspar album.
It is all over the internet. You guys have no idea.
Oh, we have a new Hammerhead record.
What?
Yes, we're
Here,
going to
I'm
play
gonna hold it
that.
up to the
Wait,
microphone.
what?
It's called New Directions
Is it really called that?
with a Z.
Yeah, I love that.
I like that.
Which is a coincidence, right?
Yeah.
That's the
You
best
did not
part.
plan this. You did not co-plan the Z. You did not.
We thought we used the last Z on Earth, but apparently not.
Well, I guess
Yeah,
not.
it just happened at the same time.
Everybody wants to be
It's like World
like
War
cows.
Z all over again.
Okay. All right. So here's cows and then Hammerhead.
And John Cale.
All right.
Wow, that's nice.
You know that song. You're.
That was brand new Hammerhead from a test pressing. Amazing.
No, it's called New Directions.
New
The album's
Directions.
called New Directions.
All right.
I like test pressing.
And you can.
Test pressing's better, though.
Pressing.
You're listening to Fresh Air Community Radio, KFAI 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul, Radio Without Boundaries. You can see Hammerhead perform on July 11th, this coming Saturday, with cows. And
Pull it together, would you?
and like Witcherettes and Gay Witch Abortion in Melvin's and Run Westy Run. Yes, it's going to be a really, really great show. And also Friday, there's going to be a pre-party featuring the film Color of Noise about AmRep label and Tom Hazelmeyer's artwork. Tom Hazelmeyer. And Van Seahorse and Mrs. and the new Blind Shake Side project, Shadow in the Cracks. Right now we're going to go to the news with Jamonde Tway.
Good morning, I'm Jamonde Tway bringing you the news not sponsored by Hammerhead. In today's news, a petition calling for Ellen Powell to step down has hit 200,000 signatures, says the Telegraph. Powell, Reddit's chief executive, came under pressure last week when Reddit's volunteer users who police the thousands of subreddits that make up Reddit took down large sections of the site. In an issue statement yesterday, she said, "We screwed up. Not just on July 2nd, but also over the past several years. We haven't communicated well, and we have surprised moderators and the community with big challenges." Widespread discontent with Reddit's management boiled over on Thursday night when it emerged that Victoria Taylor, a senior member of staff crucial to the site's popular Ask Me Anything section, had been dismissed. In protest at Taylor's removal and a perceived lack of communication and appreciation, moderators disabled large sections of Reddit. The sections are now back online, but Reddit users continue to voice their displeasure with management. A Canadian human rights group has told the UN that the troubles faced by the country's Indigenous population are one of Canada's most pressing social issues. RT News reports that the human rights group said Indigenous women and girls in Canada are at least 4.5 times more likely to be on the receiving end of violence than other females in the country. Amnesty International is calling on the UN Human Rights Committee to instigate a public inquiry into the violence against Indigenous women, which would also lead to a national action plan to try and address the issue. The Canadian Human Rights Commission made the submission to the UN Human Rights Committee, which is currently conducting a review into how Canada is complying with the International Covenant on Political and Civil Rights. The decree came into force in 1976 and, among other things, championed one's right to self-determination and forces its signatories to respect all peoples within its territories, regardless of race, color, or sex. This is the first time in a decade that Canada is being investigated by the UN panel. A Canadian man is facing charges after attaching more than 100 helium-filled balloons to a lawn chair and floating over Calgary. Canada, that is. USA Today says, according to a statement from the Calgary police, Daniel Boria took flight on Sunday evening and was arrested after he jumped from the chair and opened a parachute attached to his back. Boria was charged with one count of mischief causing danger to life. The 26-year-old devised the stunt as a marketing ploy to gain attention to his all-natural cleaning solution company. He told the newspaper that he spent $12,000 on helium and planned to skydive onto the Calgary Stampede grounds until bad weather foiled his plans. Boria injured his foot while landing. Police are still looking for the launcher, which they expect to fall after the balloons pop. Now for your weather, currently sunny and should be very sunny today. Lots of sunshine. High of 73 today. We are currently sitting at 62 degrees. And tonight, 54. Now, back to Hammerhead and Spin with Sin. Or the other way around. Spin with Sin. Spin with Sin and Hammerhead.
Wow. Yes, and cows and members of...
Thanks for the encouragement in the background, guys.
Is even one word of that true?
Lies.
I don't think that guy hurt his foot at all.
That's what they want us to believe.
She starts the music.
So,
That's what I want to play.
We are back on Fresh Air Community Radio, KFAI 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul, Radio Without Boundaries. Now we're going to go to the music calendar for the week ahead with music by Flavor Crystals in the background.
Yep. I think that's Flava Crystals.
Flava Crystals.
Flava
as Kevin says. And then we'll get back to interviewing and playing music with Cows and Hammerhead. All right, take it away, Paul Sanders.
Yeah, these are Sin picks for July 7, 2015. Guilty Grins. That's Joe Roberto of Poverty
When's
Has
that
Some
happening?
Friends. Well, that'd be on Tuesday, July 7th at Palmer's at 9 o'clock. I remember Palmer's.
Those were the days.
July Conspiracy Series. It says Fee, F-E.
Featuring.
Oh, featuring. The Farmhouse Band with The Last Rebel at the
Santa
331 Club. And then the Ventures cover band is play Stacks with Nona Marie at Turf Club at 8. These guys actually practice on our practice space.
Oh, they
Isn't
do.
that interesting?
We hear them often.
They're good.
Are they good?
They're very good.
They are good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we walk down to the hall, down into the door and listen to the Ventures.
They're still practicing.
Would you like me to continue down the list?
Sure, or I can take over.
Here's a
whichever.
news
No,
flash.
no,
he's good.
Here's a news flash. He can't read.
On Wednesday, July 8th, we have the KFAI. What is that?
We have the Dick
It's
Slexley.
These letters don't make a word.
So does Hammerhead got anything new
I
coming
don't know
out?
how they pronounce that.
KFAI.
KFAI House Party presents Tom Hall and Alice
Cooper.
Spencer.
Fish for the Twins.
Spencer at 7 with Firefly Forest at 9:30 at 331 Club.
She sells seashells.
Also an evening with Jen Kirkman. I'm gonna die alone and I feel fine at Cedar 7.
Can I read that one again?
Yeah,
An evening with Jen
CSL.
Kirkman. I'm gonna die alone!
CSL. Goodnight Goldust and Carbon Handshake at Turf Club 7:30. Strange Names with Porno No at 7th Street Entry at 8. What's going on Thursday, July 9th, Paul?
Thursdays at 331 with Gabe Barnett and them Rounders with Black Widows at 331 Club at 10 o'clock. That would be PM.
Racist.
Nice.
The Ataris with Fury Things and the Ronnie Buxtons at Triple Rock 8.
What about the Glenn Buxtons?
And Steve Gunn with Jennifer Castle, Matthew DeGennaro, and DJ Soft Abuse at 7th Street Entry at 8.
Soft abuse.
Steve
Sounds like
Gunn,
my wedding.
I recommend that. Strange Names with Carol and DJ Susie at Turf Club at 8. How about Friday, July 10th, Freddie?
How about? Is that whiskey, Freddie?
Maybe. Grumpy's Bash feature F.E. Seahorse, Misses, and Shadows in the Cracks. Blind Shake members side project. After screening Color of Noise AMREP film at Grumpy's DT7. What does that mean?
7
Downtown,
p.m.
7 o'clock, right?
Way to sell it.
Okay.
The Delirium
And
Trailer.
Valet, or Valet,
Ballet.
yeah. Hey Judd.
Hey, Judd.
He's a
German
hoot.
word,
I like
valet.
that guy. But The Truth Might Not Be Here record release party with Guantanamo?
Guantanamo.
Or Whatever Forever and Gramophone at Turf Club, 8 o'clock. The Green with Matt Jennings, Triple Rock, 8 o'clock. DJ James Murphy of LCD Sound System at First Avenue, 9 o'clock. And then Saturday, I don't know what's going on Saturday, the 11th. Something's going on. But
Black Party.
All right, Saturday the 11th, some show, Grumpy's Bash 15.
Right.
Featuring Cows, you guys.
Z's everywhere.
With the Melvins, Run Westy Run, Hammerhead, Les Butcherettes, Hepatitis,
Finally.
and Gay Witch Abortion at Grumpy's, downtown, 2 to 10 p.m., not to be missed. Also, Saturday after the show, you can catch Vandy's Birthday Bash with Eleganza, Solid Attitude, Leon Boots, and Shadow and the Cracks at 7th Street Entry at 9. Sunday, July 12th is Torch at 7th Street Entry at 7:30, and Pleasure Horse with Xerxes Palomino.
July 12th has been canceled.
Oh.
The whole day.
Nothing is happening after Grumpy's Bash. No. Okay. The hottest date at Triple Rock at 8 o'clock if you're still alive. Okay, Monday, July 13th is JT's Jazz Implosion this week and every week at Ice House at 10. And Frankie Teardrop, the Olympics and Chalk at Turf Club at 8. And Empire with Bob Doran, Monday night at 7th Street Entry at 8 p.m.
Clown
That's it.
13th is still happening.
Clown Emperor?
I feel suicidal after
They use my name.
Do you?
He said he's
It's hard to say. All
We'll have to.
that one band is
I like that.
easy to say the name.
Yeah?
It's very difficult for you.
Well, no wonder you want to.
Which one?
Hepatitis?
Huh?
Hepatitis?
That one's not hard to say.
No.
All those others on the list.
It's hard to get.
Les Butcherettes, Run West.
No, it's easy to get. This is our slogan. Hepatitis. To get it, you gotta have fun.
All right, we'll go back to the music and then we'll
You guys
get
got
back
shirts?
to Hammerhead and Cows.
I wanna be loved, not teased. I don't want no man on his knees. A henpecked man I can't respect. 'Cause I'm a hard woman to handle, and I know that. He's gotta be steady, use his head to turn me on, not get it on. My mama was mean, my papa was cruel. I never got the chance to do like the other girls. But now I'm a woman, sweet 21. I'm gonna find myself a man and have myself some fun. He's gotta be steady, use his head to turn me on. Now get it on. Get it on, y'all. Pulling cotton sacks is all I've ever done. The man I find has got to be strong. 'Cause a weak man I can't stand. 'Cause I'm too much of a woman to have a henpecked man. He's gotta be steady, use his head to turn me on. Now get it on. So get it on.
This is bullshit.
Oh, sorry. Horse hockey.
All right.
Bull hockey.
Whoops.
Horse hockey.
All right, we're back
Yeah.
with Cows and Hammerhead, and you just heard Tina Turner, and we've got a new
Hey, dear, I
song
beat Tina to death.
What, on the charts?
by Gas War
It's about
Pollards,
time.
and you want to talk about this again? The band Gas War and
yeah.
the record.
Kevin, Jeff, and I. Jeff from Hammerhead and Vaz.
Kevin who?
It's Kevin Ritmanis. cows, and the other band.
That one band.
Tomahawk. Yeah, there's a little something we threw together in the studio. Hit it.
All right, here we go.
What is it? Best album card. Yeah, I remember when you got that in the mail.
Programming is supported by Ampers and the Minnesota Arts and Cultural Heritage Fund. Ampers.org has hundreds of music, arts, and cultural stories, including many produced by this radio station. Information and audio at ampers.org. Ampers, diverse radio for Minnesota's communities.
Programming on KFAI is supported by Summit Brewing Company.
Now offering all of Summit's limited release seasonal brews in handy 12-ounce cans.
More info on Summit news, brews, and events can be found at summitbrewing.com.
Don't it make you wanna feel alright?
song I want to hear.
All right, we're back here on Spin with Sin, here on Fresh Air Community Radio, KFAI 90.3 FM, Minneapolis, and 106.7 FM, St. Paul, Radio Without Boundaries. You just heard Magic Man?
Oh,
No.
Night Flight.
It was Zeppelin, Night Flight, yeah. Brought in by Shannon. Thank you, Shannon.
I didn't bring that in.
I brought in. He brought in the.
I just got
Magic
here.
Man.
Freddie's been doing his impression of me, I trust.
Does the FCC like it when you're stoned on the air?
Whoa. Easy.
No, I haven't. All right,
Alleged.
we're back with Cows and Hammerhead, and we're going to
And
hear...
Faz and Gas War. And
Yes, we heard Gas War
crowded in
earlier,
here.
brought in by Paul Erickson. And we're going to hear a new hepatitis. Do you want to talk about this, Kevin?
Yeah, it's
Kevin
not out yet.
Hermanis?
It's hepatitis with Void Mains. There's this crazy synthesizer guy that's playing with the Melvins right now. And then
crazy?
With the best Chinese singer in the world, Mike Patton.
All right, cool.
Mike Patton.
Yeah.
Nice.
Doing the theme from MASH, Suicide is Painless.
All right, and then we're going to hear Seahorse, and then we're going to, before Seahorse, we're going to hear Speck in This World, which is Wayne Hasty's song. Freddie Votel, you were inspired by Wayne Hasty, I hear.
You got me to buy the idiot.
All right.
He just says that to get chicks.
No, I think he probably called you an idiot and you misunderstood.
Yeah, that could have been. Regardless, it's a great record.
All
He
right.
was right.
He said, you're an idiot, and you picked it up and went, you're right.
So is this
So we'll
guy.
get to that, and then we'll
Stuck
get to
with
more
brain
Cows
surgery.
music soon, too, and more stories from Shannon. So right now, here we go with hepatitis and...
Suicide is Painless. Theme from MASH.
Not what I heard.
All right, we're back. We got these announcements and then back to Cows and Hammerhead.
Programming on KFAI is supported in part by the Great River Energy Masabi Trail Bike Tour on Saturday, August 1st. The Great River Energy Masabi Trail Tour is a day-long biking event for families and serious trail riders alike. 4 starting points allow you to bike from 11 to 72 miles. The event culminates with a picnic and concert in Eveleth. The ride supports the Masabi Trail and the programming on KFAI and the rest of the Ampers stations, providing diverse radio for Minnesota communities. More information available at masabitrail.com.
KFAI is proud to sponsor Johnette Napolitano in concert Saturday, July 11th at the Dakota.
Best known for her work as the powerful lead singer, bassist, and songwriter in the alternative rock trio Concrete Blonde, she's now touring on her own.
Just an acoustic guitar, her songs, and of course, her distinctive voice.
More information about Johnette Napolitano in concert is available at dakotacooks.com.
We're back on Spin with Sin. I'm Sin Collins here, Tuesday mornings 10 to noon. I've got Cowsin and Hammerhead, and you guys are also members of Hepatitis, Vaz, Gas War, Novacron,
Skull Kodiak.
It's
Real
really crowded in here.
The Stones.
The original Silver Beatles.
Right. All right, so it's time to get back to
new
Cows
directions.
music and hear another Cows
Finally.
song celebrating the reunion. I'm super excited. We are also excited that you guys are reuniting and playing a show July 11th, Shannon,
No, I'm
Freddie,
excited.
Kevin, and Paul. So
Finally, Shannon's excited.
do you want to talk, Shannon, about the theatrics you bring to the music and the humor? A thing that we've
Humor?
loved over all of these years is how darkly funny and comedic your shows are, and you want to talk about your approach, like
That pretty much sums it up.
what do you think about when you go on stage, or do you?
Absolutely nothing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's not a lot of
Yeah,
thinking
you
going
just kind of.
Not at all.
I don't think, I just do.
That's right.
We channel Sid.
Pure
He's
id.
our hero.
Yeah. So
Simon Ferocious.
is there playing the bugle, trumpet?
If you find it funny, though, that's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Like
Find it
Velvet.
disturbing. That's
What
funny.
was your favorite show of all time?
He just told you he
Shannon.
doesn't think.
I think in my spare time.
About birds.
Favorite show of all time.
If you can,
Sell a tie for last place.
yeah.
No, of course not. Favorite show, let's see, out of 1,000 shows.
Yeah. Or funniest or strangest.
Never thought about it.
That's a tough
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably
so
with
many
the
shows.
Melvins and Hole in Los Angeles.
Nice.
At the lingerie club.
Yeah,
Club lingerie.
there's a bunch of big fat rich cowboys waving money around. It was great.
That was
They're
a really
from Texas.
fun show.
Yeah, but enough about Courtney. Who else is there? No, I don't care, actually.
And you toured a lot with the Melvins. How was that? Is it?
Pain in the butt.
We never toured with the Melvins.
Yeah, we did. We did a short tour. Way when when we were both pretty new bands.
A tour?
Yeah, like a week on the West Coast.
Where was I?
You weren't in the band yet.
we weren't in the band yet.
All right, that was my new favorite show.
Yeah. The only thing I remember, but I don't remember too much about it, but I remember Buzz going, because I was very flattered by this. We're loud, but you guys are really loud.
That's good. Nice.
Yeah. So, well, let's go to Cows. This is Witch Hunt. Do you want to say anything about this, Shannon? This song?
Well, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Oh, cool.
All right. We'll go to this. Here we go.
It's about alienation and stuff.
Sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Programming on KFAI is sponsored by Peace Coffee, offering 100% fair trade, fresh roasted coffee. Purchased direct from farmer cooperatives and delivered locally by bicycle, Peace Coffee is available at all Twin Cities natural food co-ops, Kowalski's markets, and local cafes. Peace Coffee, proud supporters of KFAI Fresh Air Community Radio and on the web at peacecoffee.com.
KFAI is proud to sponsor the 5th annual Twin Cities Roots, Rock, and Deep Blues Festival, Saturday, July 18th at Patrick's Cabaret on Minnehaha Avenue at Lake Street in Minneapolis. The festival features 5 stages showcasing more than 30 national and regional acts, including Kent Burnside, Spider John Kerner, Jimmy Duck Holmes, Willie Murphy and the Angel-Headed Hipsters, Charlie Parr, and many more. Information is available at rootsrockdeepblues.com.
We're back here on Spin Within every Tuesday, 10 to noon here on Fresh Air Community Radio, 90.3 FM Minneapolis and 106.7 FM St. Paul, Radio Without Boundaries. Also at KFAI.org, where the show is archived for 2 weeks. We have Hammerhead and Cows in. Thank you guys for coming in.
Cows in. That's
You're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Cows with a Z.
Cows in.
So,
Like
how did you
Danzig.
guys come up with the Z at the end now?
That was Hazelmar. That was just to show everyone that Thor wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a sort of out of respect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
to whom I don't know.
Which we have very little to spare.
Yeah, it's not like we have bags and bags of that later.
we just heard Cows Witch Hunt, and we are all like 75% of us are coloring new Hammerhead New Directions records.
Not very good at math, are you?
Okay. I just like to exaggerate. I'm great at math, but not so good at telling the facts.
Nice.
All right, so we got Kevin Ritmanis, Freddie Votel, Paul Erickson, Paul Sanders, Shannon Selbergen. Thanks.
Selbergen.
We have a Hammerhead song queued up. You want to talk about this, Paul? And Paul?
You should tell.
It's called Descended from Apes. It's actually a demo that Paul Sanders made, and then we added bass, organ, and
Rototoms.
Rototoms. There was no stand, so Paul had to stand in front of Jeff holding the
I held
rototoms.
the drums like a hero.
You guys are resourceful.
Yeah.
All right. And Paul Sanders is also playing Cows. And July 11th, just a reminder to everybody, is the great Grumpy's Bash 15 featuring Cows Reunion. First show in 20 plus years. And there was a small reunion. Yes. And also featuring Run Westy Run and Gay Witch Abortion, Les Butcherettes, the Melvins, Hepatitis. It's going to be really a blast. So that starts at 2 p.m. At Grumpy's downtown on Washington Avenue. Here's Descended from Apes
Yes.
by Hammerhead.
Yes.